Hello everybody, welcome back to the Dugout Football channel where it is time for match week 20 of the 21-22 Bundesliga season. Now let's have a quick look at how everyone did in the last match week. What I will say is that the highest score this week was 6. The highest score this week was 6. The Hat had a disaster. It only got 2 points, so if you basically no one got beaten by the Hat. There was one person that did draw with the Hat, but it was a very, very good week. All be told, it was definitely a good week. So the Hat got 2, Sean Brennan 2, Chris Welsh 3. Very, very well done, Chris. Shane 4, Ballum 5, Lanzo 5, myself 5, and the Asian Sensational with the high score this week of 6 out of 9. So very, very well done to you, Asian Sensational. Steve, of course, it was very, very good to see as well. So we will move on to the next match week, and we start with a Friday night game. Now this is the last match week until I think it's a wee break, winter break. So no fixtures next week, of course. So that's going to be interesting for sure. So we have Eintracht Frankfurt against Arminia Bielefeld. Arminia Bielefeld had a 2-2 draw against Gruether Furth, which was a very interesting performance, in fact. Messiah Ukugwa, that man again, scored the opener. And then Jamie Lewin managed to equalise for Furth. Havard Nielsen put Furth into a 2-1 lead. And Gonzalo Castro, remember him? Ex-Dortmund, of course, managed to get the equaliser. So a very, very good point for Arminia Bielefeld, it has to be said. Frankfurt, on the other hand, they were involved in another draw, a 1-1 draw with Augsburg. Kamada put Eintracht Frankfurt in the lead, and Michael Gregoritsch again scored for Augsburg. So a 1-1 draw. I look at this game, and you don't know what Frankfurt you're going to get. You do not know what Frankfurt you're going to get, do you? I think if you look at it as well, I do think Frankfurt probably are better at home than they are away as well. They're sitting comfortably in 8th place as well. Arminia Bielefeld are now off the bottom two. They are now 16th, so they're only a point under Augsburg. So this is a very tricky one to call. Very, very tricky one to call, because I think Arminia Bielefeld are actually starting to pick up points, which is the main thing for them. So I'm going to go for a. I was tempted with a draw, but actually because I Eintracht Frankfurt at home, I'm going to give Frankfurt a 2-1 victory. I think Frankfurt will be 2-1 victors in this one. And now we have Bayer Leverkusen against Augsburg. Leverkusen won by 2-1 away at Monchengladbach. Augsburg, as we've just said, 1-1 with Eintracht Frankfurt. Leverkusen are going really, really well, aren't they? They're going really, really well. Robert Andrich and Patrick Schick, of course, 2-0 in front, and then Nico Elvedi pulled one back for Monchengladbach. So Leverkusen are playing very well. Augsburg just off the bottom now. They're just within a point of the bottom 3 at this moment in time. And if you look at it as well, this is Leverkusen win. This is got Leverkusen win all over it for me, and I think it's going to be a comfortable 2-0 victory. I cannot see Augsburg scoring, and I think Leverkusen will win by 2-0. I'm going to give them a very comfortable 2-0 victory. And now we have Gruether Furth against Mainz. Gruether Furth against Mainz. Furth 2-2 with 2-2 with Arminia Bielefeld. Mainz got a 1-0 victory over VFL Bochum. So a very, very good victory it was as well. Look, I think the thing is, I look at these two, and Gruether Furth, to be fair, to be credit to them, they are picking up points. They're now on 7 points. They're still a long, long way off safety. They're 12 points from safety. But Furth, if they were to win one game, then it sort of puts the pressure on to Augsburg, Stuttgart, Arminia Bielefeld, and Augsburg. But Mainz going really well this season. I think it has to be said. They're going very, very well. Sitting in 10th place at the moment. I can only see them winning 1-0. I'm going to go for them to win 1-0 against Gruether Furth. I think it's going to be a very interesting game, that one, but I think it'll be just too much for Gruether Furth. So I'm going to go for Mainz to win by a goal to 0. And now we have Hoffenheim against Borussia Dortmund. Hoffenheim lost by 2-1 against Union Berlin. It was indeed. Yeah, actually, they took the lead in that game and then managed to obviously lose it later on in the 73rd minute. So that was disappointing. Dortmund, they were involved in, let's have a look, 5-1 victory over Freiburg. So that was a good result for Borussia Dortmund. Do we have a title race going on again? I mean, you know, Dortmund are playing before Bayern this weekend. You know, if they were to win, it would go down to 3 points again. Look, Bayern have got a very, very good goal difference with 43. Dortmund are on 20. So you never know. You never know with this Dortmund side. But I think they'll win. But I'm going to go for them to scrape a 2-1 victory. I think they'll beat Hoffenheim. I do think they'll beat Hoffenheim. It's a tough one to call, but I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Borussia Dortmund to keep the pressure on to Bayern Munich. Yeah, definitely. And now we have Borussia Monchengladbach against Union Berlin. Monchengladbach 2-1 defeat against Leverkusen, and we're knocked out of the DFL Pokal by Hanover by 3-0. So that's not good. That is not good at all. And Union Berlin were a 2-1 victors over Hoffenheim as well. It's not looking good for Monchengladbach. Like Monchengladbach, I thought we turned a wee bit of a corner after beating, you know, Bayern Munich, but just after that, it's just not been great. And you know, losing 2-1 to Leverkusen was not great either. We've not got a good record against Leverkusen. Let's be honest. We've not got a good record against Leverkusen. But I look at this, Union Berlin are a good side. They are having a good season. And I think they'll go to Monchengladbach, and I'm going to go for them to win. I never usually predict to Monchengladbach to lose, but unfortunately, I just think this is one of those cases. I'm going to go for a 2-0 win to Union Berlin. I really, really do. I just don't see Monchengladbach winning this one. And now we move on to Freiburg against VFB Stuttgart. Freiburg were on the end of a 5-1 hammering to Borussia Dortmund. VFB Stuttgart, on the other hand, were involved in a 2-0 defeat to RB Leipzig. So both of these sides will definitely want to bounce back. I think Freiburg should be the one that they are doing. They should be the one that are... They should be the one looking to bounce back. Stuttgart sitting in the bottom 2 now, which is not very, very good anyway. But looking at this, I think Freiburg will win. I'm going to go for a 2-1 win to Freiburg. In that one, we've got 2 of the informed sides meeting now. We have VFL Bochum against FC Köln. To be fair, VFL Bochum have got, VFL Bochum are actually picking up points, which is the main thing. But FC Köln, 3 wins, 2 defeats in the last 5, so which is very, very good. As I said, Bochum, they are starting to sort of pick away ever so slightly, which is the main thing. FC Köln, I did say last week, if you play Bayern Munich on a day where they are wounded and angry, that's what happens to you. Bayern Munich ran out 4-0 victors against... they ran out 4-0 victors against FC Köln as well. But I expect FC Köln to bounce back. Robert Lewandowski hat-trick, of course, as well. I'm going to say Anthony Modeste will get the winning goal, and I'm going to go for a 1-0 victory to FC Köln. And now we have a very interesting matchup. RB Leipzig against Wolfsburg. Leipzig were on the end of a 2-0 victory over Stuttgart. Wolfsburg on the end of a 0-0 draw with Hertha Berlin. Look... Both these sides don't defend, so I think we're in for a very good match. I'm actually going to go for a high-scoring game. I think Leipzig will come out on winners in this one. I'm going to go for a 3-2 victory to RB Leipzig. I think it'll be a very interesting game, that one 3-2 to RB Leipzig. And finally we have Hertha Berlin against Bayern Munich. Obviously Hertha Berlin, I've just said 0-0 with Wolfsburg. Bayern Munich 4-0 win over FC Köln, which was a very, very good result as well. But if Dortmund win, it puts the pressure on Bayern, because Bayern would only be 3 points ahead with I think it's 14 games to go, so there's definitely a title race. There's definitely a title race this season, for sure. Hertha Berlin hit and miss, really. They really, really are. Bayern Munich top of the table. Have had the one or two very, very strange results, but looking at this, I think Bayern Munich will win this one. I'm going to go for them to win by 2-1. So here are my predictions for Matchweek 20 before we go and see what the hat thinks. Eintracht Frankfurt 2, Arminia Bielefeld 1, Bayer Leverkusen 2, Augsburg 0, Gruether Furth 0, Mainz 1, Hoffenheim 1, Borussia Dortmund 2, Borussia Monchengladbach 0, Union Berlin 2, Freiburg 2, Stuttgart 1, Bochum 0, FC Köln 1, RB Leipzig 3, Wolfsburg 2, and Hertha Berlin 1, Bayern Munich 2. And now is the time for the hat. And we shall see what happens in today's game. So what does the hat think? So the first game, the Friday game, is Eintracht Frankfurt against Arminia Bielefeld. What does the hat think? An away win. Well, that would definitely be a very interesting match, that one, if the hat was right with that, for sure. Bayer Leverkusen against VFC Augsburg. Oops, I have taken 2 out there, so I will have to do that again. I did not mean to take 2 out there. Bayer Leverkusen versus VFC Augsburg. Another away win. I don't see Leverkusen losing at home. They've very rarely lost at home, to be fair. I think Bayern Munich were the last team to beat them. I think that was right anyway. Greuther Furth against Mainz. What is the hat saying for this one? Ho. Home win. I'll tell you something, that could be interesting if that was to be a home win. That would make it interesting. Hoffenheim against Dortmund. What's the hat say? Home win. Interesting. Very, very interesting indeed. Monchengladbach against Union Berlin. What's the hat say? Away win. Hat might be doing well this week. Freiburg against Stuttgart. Draw. That could be interesting. Could be very, very interesting, actually. Bochum versus Köln. Home win. Another big win for Köln. For Bochum, sorry, I should say. The match of the weekend, RB Leipzig against Wolfsburg. An away win. An away win, says the hat. That could be interesting for sure. And finally, Hertha Berlin against Bayern Munich. What's the hat saying? Home win. Interesting. Well, so before we go to the wee winter break, or international break, whatever you want to call it, this is what the hat thinks. So he's gone for the away win for Arminia Bielefeld at Eintracht Frankfurt, away win for Augsburg against Leverkusen, home win for Furth against Mainz, home win for Hoffenheim over Dortmund, away win for Berlin against Monchengladbach, draw for Freiburg and Stuttgart, home win for Bochum against FC Köln, an away win for Wolfsburg away at Leipzig, and a home win for Hertha Berlin against Bayern Munich. That's what I think. That's what the hat thinks. Let me know what you think in the comments section down below. So obviously there will not be a video for obviously next week. What I will try and do before the next video is I will try and get the league table up. I realise I haven't actually done that for a while, so I'm going to try and do that anyway. But thank you for watching. Like and share and subscribe. Do what you can to support the channel, and it is greatly appreciated. But until then, it is goodbye from me. Auf Wiedersehen. Tschüss.